You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13. I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.
This is Your Welcome America presents Chasing the Saturdays, episode 7.
In our ongoing mission to translate British pop culture for America, we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the e-reality show that follows British-Irish girl group, The Saturdays, as they try to crack America. I should just rewrite that line sometimes, shouldn't I? Like episode 10, I'll do it.
In this episode, we're still on UK soil with an injury, an actual serious storyline, and a christening that I didn't see coming.
No, I have know where that christening came. I am Ben.
I am Fraser.
Fraser like razor.
And this is Chasing the Saturdays.
Woo! So, hashtag keep calm and sats on. Oof. That's such a, well, just like a mid-season hashtag that means nothing.
Also, I wonder how many items of a keep calm and carry on nature the girls have owned between them collectively. I'm going to say 5.
I think enough to fill a landfill.
And I don't think it's all distributed evenly. I think some people have got more than others.
I think Molly might like it.
I was about to say, this reeks of Molly. She loves a bit of, she's like, oh, it's, fun and British, isn't it?
Yeah. So we got a previously on.
Yeah.
Previously on, I've just written depression, Ben's torn ligaments, and to be continued.
Yeah, this is quite a rough previously on. There's not a lot of fun. But I am glad that they're still handling Frankie's mental health issues tastefully.
Yeah.
That's something that made me happy.
Okay, scene 1.
Well, we're back from the... So let's not let anyone forget, we had a cliffhanger last episode, a to be continued.
Una didn't know she's going to go back to America with the girls.
So, I don't know about you, but in a to be continued, you should pick up exactly where you left off and continue it, right? So I was expecting to be zoomed and crashed back through that lead cross-hatched window back into their living room.
It's fine. We zoom crash through that evening curtains drawn lead cross-hatched window twice in this episode.
I know,
so.
but isn't it completely strange to do a to be continued and to then not continue it?
No, I was thinking it was more of a season to be continued.
Well, I think you're giving them a little bit of grace with that one. So where are we going to go?
Well, you've stopped labeling your scenes, but this one I've described as tea on a terrace.
Now, I don't know if you've seen the art department recently, but have they got any fake ivy? We really need to let's just cover a terrace with fake ivy and pretend we're at an afternoon tea, shall we?
Yeah. Rochelle's in her business glasses.
I feel like, as we've discovered with the nuanced filmmaking of this show, they love to crash into a scene halfway through it happening. And this one, the gals are really giving it some Sats energy. Una says, do you know what, though? It's good to be back. It's nice to sleep in your own bed, isn't it? It's nice to sleep in your own bed and get a bit of rest. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Nice to have a cup of tea, too. As well. Oh, yeah, nice to have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Oh, especially with that food. It's nice to have your food and your cup of tea. It's like, all right, girls, you've been gone for like a week. Relax.
I've described their outfits here as glamorous office workers on a break or out for lunch.
Yeah, I'd say it almost could be a group of gals that work in an office and it's someone's birthday. They're not doing a full out thing. This is more like why don't we on Friday because it's Sandra's birthday? We'll all just take her out and do an afternoon tea.
Yeah, we'll finish early at 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll go do afternoon tea for Sandra.
Exactly.
On that, actually, there's that good one on the terrace with the ivy.
So Una announces that Ben is out for 3 months. 3 months he won't be able to play for.
She says, I've just written this quote here. I'm a devoted wife and let me say it again. I've written this exact quote here. I'm a devoted wife and my husband is very injured. So what do I do? Very injured. How's husband Ben Foden? He's very injured. Not just injured, very injured.
That's it. They get served some tea, and we just
they didn't make full use of. I would like a like a
cake stand. Yeah. There was no salmon. We didn't see any. I bet that was all there, but it'll hit the cutting room floor because everything else was too dynamic.
And, like Vanessa taking a bite of a cucumber sandwich and being like, cucumber in a sandwich, gross.
There really is magic in this city, isn't there?
There's magic on this terrace.
Feels like Sandra's afternoon tea. Gonna have some scones and some champagne, but only one glass because it's included in the price. Yeah.
Oh, that included in the price champagne is not going to be good.
Okay, I should have done this right at the top. This is a strange time to do this, but I was a little late arriving to yours this evening.
Yeah, what's up?
I stopped to get, I'm going to use a UK definition and then do US. I stopped to get some petrol at the petrol station, or gas at the gas station. I'm 99.9% sure that a famous person was filling up their car in front of me.
Are we going to play a guessing game?
We're going to play a guessing game.
Okay, fine. I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay. Female.
No.
Non-binary.
No.
Man.
Yes.
Oh. Would I be attracted to this man?
Maybe back in the day?
Oh. Actor.
Yes.
TV or film? Film. Do I like their films?
I mean, I feel like you've maybe only seen him in one film, and I actually think we just talked about this and you said you didn't actually like the film. You and me have just talked about this film very, very recently.
Minority Report?
No. I'll give you a clue. The movie we were talking about we talked about how I went to see it recently.
Titanic. Billy Zane.
Yes. I think I saw Billy Zane at the Chevron at the end of your street. I took this creeper picture, and then I've got a picture. So this is this side profile.
Oh, that's Billy Zane. That's one.
Hang on, look at the front. That's Billy Zane, right?
Oh, that's 100% Billy Zane.
And then I had to verify, so I found this picture, and he's wearing the same glasses.
Yeah, that's what Billy Zane looks like now.
So Billy Zane drives a Dodge pickup and drives it, fills it up in your neighborhood.
That's interesting.
He looks good. Pretty soon I'll be
Coming home.
Throw that potato in the metal bin. Ba-dum-bong.
30 days and us. That's the song that's playing as we are rattling around London. And we are going to Factory London. And that's a sign that says Factory London, Gym, Fitness, Dance. And I've just written here it's a shit sign.
It is. It's confusing. And this is a rare moment of diegetic music, as in playing over the scene and playing in the scene that we land in.
Oh yeah, diegetic
music.
and non-diegetic.
Just try and use my film studies degree at some point.
I hear you. So the gals are rehearsing and they've got... I've written here, Jenny the choreographer with fierce pencil-thin eyebrows. Now when I say fierce, I don't mean fierce. Yeah. I mean fierce.
Yeah. Never not looking angry.
Yeah.
A little scared of Jenny. I was a little frightened of Jenny.
They're limping around the room to 30 days. And Jenny shouts, "Bring the sex, Una."
What are they using as microphones?
What are they using as microphones?
Like iPhone 3s and Blackberries.
Oh. I thought you were going to say like a bottle of Impulse.
No, it was all very much early kind of 2000s. Oh, I just spat at you. Mid-2000s phone technology they were using as their microphones. I said that the sound quality coming through the speakers was terrible. Really blown out. Really hard to hear. The crisp, production of 30 days.
I love when she says, "Okay, girls, big finish." And they just start really limp, like, boo, with their fingers. And then Jenny, you just see her, she sort of does like a sort of shrug, kind of like, I guess, like reacting to them.
She says, "Your spacing, it was terrible." And we get quite a wild kind of set of things where she's basically just telling Una that she's not doing it right.
But Una can't get into her groove.
She can't. In fact, they're going to have to take a break. And I don't know if you did notice, but...
The e-ticker?
Star Wars is coming back with the full original cast for Star Wars 7.
I did see that, but I also saw that Kelly Osbourne has been hospitalized after fainting on E's Fashion Police.
Oh, and Justin Bieber collapsed on stage. That was also part of the e-ticker.
I'll go.
That was all happening while Una was sitting on a metal staircase at the back of London Gym Factory dance studio space.
Who? Some random guy she's talking to.
Adam from the label. He's the fool that tried to submit their album pictures to the embassy.
Oh, from episode 1. God, episode 1 for us was, 7 weeks ago?
Yes.
I don't remember that far back.
A lot's changed in our lives. I've seen Billy Zane.
You've seen Billy
Zane. I
Zane.
stood in silence next to Billy Zane filling up our cars.
We saw... what's his face?
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner.
Oh my God, next is Billy Piper. We'll see all the Billies.
The most important.
Are there any other Billies? There aren't. Billy Crystal.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
She's a neighbor.
Oh, she lives around it too.
She lives in Highland Park.
Oh my God.
Right.
There's a weird shot of her showing, of Una showing Adam from the label shots of Baby Girl for Bell on her phone, and he was literally like, okay.
Hope he's not going to be doing her passport pictures. Oh no, she must already have one.
She's got it.
She's already got one. Okay, let's get in a people carrier.
Does a little misleading here where it makes it look like we're going to Buckingham Palace. They really almost ended up there. Like we zoomed around London. We spent a long time lingering on Buckingham Palace.
We're not going there. We're going to a calendar signing in HMV.
Yeah, an HMV in some kind of shopping complex outside of London, I think.
Tell you who's not going. Molly.
That horsefly came back again. Revenge of the horsefly.
Oh no. The other leg got bitten by the horsefly. Hop along, Molly.
Una says, I'm really looking forward to seeing the fans. And the girls go, yeah, we've been out of the country for a while. It'd be nice to see everyone. It's like, what's happening? Just popping round to Sue's house for a cup of tea. Like, what's going on?
The core group of 12 Sats fans.
Vanessa's hair, I'm concerned about it again. She's gone to some salon in Essex, and I'm concerned.
Is it big?
It's very Cowardly Lion. It's just a lot happening.
Right, so they go to the signing. They sit behind some tables that have just been sort of pulled from the canteen, it looks like.
Yeah.
And they meet lots of fans. There's a lot of like, hi, you all right? Yeah, good to see you.
They try and make it quite dynamic with All Fired Up playing as they arrive. I love that. Do you like they zoomed on that one girl? She goes, I love the Saturday. Yeah, and then there's a lot of, I like your phone case. Rochelle goes, oh, it's cold out there, right, isn't it? And then she goes, at least there's a lot of nice shops around here you can go and look at. Oh, I like your phone case. I was like, girls.
I then just wrote in all caps, so many Frankie haircuts.
Yeah. Oh, nice nails. That was one of them too. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to address it. And then
yeah, I know.
They had to have Frankie say, well, there's a lot of people that look like me. I think there was like 15 people that had her haircut.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was such a thing.
Yeah, well, she, as we discussed, of all those short haircuts of the time, she actually is the one that pulled it off the best.
Yeah, she won.
Like, she should go back to that. I think it really suits her.
I just wrote here, I'd be pissed at not getting Molly's signature. Imagine lining up, getting 4 of them on your 2013 calendar.
Yeah, that's really... Every time I looked at that, I'd be like, oh, Molly.
Oh, which reminds me. So, in 1998, it's just reminded me, haven't thought about it since then, when I met the Spice Girls at their tour, at their concert in Glasgow. So, we got backstage things, and we all sat around these trestle tables, and they came around and signed our programs. So, my friend will remain nameless. She got signatures for herself, but also for her sister. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it was either Mel B or Victoria. I think it was Victoria. She didn't get Victoria's signature. Oof. So after the show in the car park, we did a fake Victoria signature.
Oh, that's why they're nameless, because
yes,
there's any way they can work backwards from this. Uh-oh. This dynamic scene of meeting the fans ends with Rochelle's voice trailing off into the wind. She goes, bye, Chelsea. Nice to meet you. This little girl just walks up. It was just like, hi, Chelsea. Nice to meet you. All fired up. I feel alive. Be on your radar. It's like, girls.
There's magic in this HMV. Molly's at home with the sick horsefly.
Get the signature with Frankie's haircut. We love the Saturdays. Bye, Chelsea. Nice to meet you.
Oh, right. Frankie's got to run because she is going to Glamour magazine.
Stomp to Glamour to the tune of Ego in a fun lime green pant and a lime green scarf.
And some precarious platforms. That scarf, you know what it is.
It's Alexander McQueen.
It's an Alexander McQueen skull scarf. I think it's like a remixed one, I would say.
Well, do you know what? She's consistent and she looks good.
She's there. She has gone to meet Joe Elvin at Glamour magazine. I've written here that Joe Elvin, someone that I'm definitely aware of, and she scares me.
Yes. I actually wrote, she's quite a UK TV staple. She's been on a lot of shows. She's often like a talking head on something to do with fashion or like media. She's always on them. She always hosts the Glamour Woman of the Year awards. I've the ones that I used to work on when I was a chaperone.
Did you work in those?
Yeah, I've told you this. Do you remember? I've definitely told you this. I used to work on Glamour Women of the Year awards and the GQ Man of the Year awards, and I would, because my friend was the booker for it, and I worked with her in TV. So she would always just, every time she did the awards, I just did a chaperone job where I would get assigned celebrities that I had to walk from their car to their table. Okay. And they were all ones that won awards. I have told you because I met Cheryl, remember? And I shook her hand and it was like a tiny little bird. Oh, yes. A little bird wing.
A cold little bird wing.
Really like an ice cold little bird wing. And she was really nice.
Bet she was.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm a little scared of her as well. She's got a very kind of classic magazine editor. I'm scared of her. Yeah, definitely.
Frankie's also nervous, you can tell.
Yeah.
Just a quick background check on Jo Elvin. She left Glamour magazine in 2017. She went to work at a newspaper magazine. You're like one of the pullouts.
Right.
And then she now heads up a cancer charity.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Lovely. I'm a little scared of her hair and her earrings in this meeting as well.
Absolutely. What is going on in this meeting? Where are we? What's going on?
So Frankie did a story for Glamour magazine talking, it's kind of the first time she's done a public thing talking about her mental health struggles. And I think even though this scene is set up for the show and it's for a magazine, all this kind of stuff, Jo Elvin's like quite earnest and quite serious, where she said the impact of Frankie talking about her depression is like been like unbelievable, like the feedback that they've got, and so much so that a charity has reached out and wants her to be the ambassador, a charity called Mind, and that they want her to be on the cover of Glamour again, talking about the fact she's now an ambassador for this charity. So this felt like engineered for the show, but also incredibly positive. And it felt like she really was actually, it was very touching, I thought.
And then at the end of the scene, there's some real reality show editing where you hear Frankie speak, but not on camera, saying, "Oh, I'm really not sure." And then it's just shots of the two of them just looking at each other and just slowly nodding in silence.
There's some real editing snafus on this episode.
Oh.
I've recorded one to play for you later.
Is it the Vanessa one later?
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing, that Vanessa one.
It's, I mean, we'll get to it when we get to it. I mean, I also think we need to just take a second to really lead up to what the next scene and how it starts. I actually couldn't believe that. I laughed out loud and basically praised to Jesus.
So this next scene, which I've called Una and Ben's Gaff. How does it begin?
So it's dark outside. We're outside a house. We can see some lead cross-hatching paned windows. And we zoom in and we hear the dulcet tones of Una on the acoustic. And she's singing an acoustic version of Ego for baby Ephabel and Ben. It couldn't have been more perfect.
When this, I in my head, when I was watching this, I was like, this is the scene of the season.
1,000,000,000%. I want this I want this projected like at my funeral. Like it's
so
just gorgeous.
Good. Now, she's doing it. She's singing and playing the guitar to baby girl Ephabel. And then she says to baby girl Ephabel, "Oh, you're doing the dance moves already. Next you'll be singing. But first, we've got to get you christened." Yeah. I was like, what?
Talk me through baby girl Ephabel's very punk hairstyle in this scene.
No, it's very Pebbles.
It is very
Pebbles. Bam Bam. She's got little, her hair. She's young. She's probably not had a haircut yet. No. So she's got her hair in like bunches.
But they stick right up.
Yeah, they stick right up.
Like little antennae.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
So then this christening storyline, which really comes out of nowhere, although that line I just read, that wasn't cobbled together. That was a real line, but it was so strange.
They clearly just were like, "You've got to reference the christening now." And she was like, "Do you want me to sing Ego?"
So she says it's hard planning for a christening right now, particularly when you've never talked about it before this scene.
Yeah.
But she needs to do the christening, but then she needs to go back to LA. But as they say in Hollywood, the show must go on. She says that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's happening?
And then baby girl Ephabel starts crying because she's not allowed to touch the guitar. And I was
That's
like,
right.
"Oh, she's going to be... I can't wait for her acoustic album."
So they discuss what baby girl Ephabel's going to wear at the christening.
Yeah.
A dress and a bonnet.
Bonnet. Really good word to say in a Nuna accent. She's going to wear a little bonnet.
Little bonnet.
Bonnet.
Now, I noticed in the scene that Ben is wearing one of those rubber charity bracelets. I tried to pause it to look at what it was, but I couldn't make it out.
What colour was it?
I think it was blue and yellow.
Okay, so at this point we were deep into the like confusing off-brand. We weren't just in the Live Strong. Live Strong was the first one, the yellow one, wasn't it? And then there was a white one that came straight after.
Was the white one for the tsunami?
Yes, I remember that really technically to look cool, it was really only the yellow and the white ones, right?
I think so.
And then once it all started getting a bit jumbled and confused, it was like, oh, I'm not really that into this. I definitely got one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I got a white one.
All I know is that they were definitely over by 2013. That was not happening in 2013.
What a strange slice of time that was with those rubber charity wristbands.
God, think how many of those there are just floating around in the ocean right now.
They need to start one to clean it up.
Yeah. It will be made of all the previous ones, recycled.
Okay, so we see a sign that says John Henry's. Didn't understand what that meant.
No, I wrote John Henry's question mark.
And then we have one of the least nuanced pieces of editing, of kind of audio editing of Vanessa announcing what they're doing. I'm just going to play it for you.
We have really big shows coming up in America. So while we're back in London, David, our long-time vocal coach, is going to help us start getting ready for our performances. Okay, so we have...
I would say nearly every word from that was taken from a different soundbite.
Yeah.
That was we joke about that a lot, but that was bad.
It was so jarring because the first time I heard it, I remarked.
Yeah, I heard it straight away, especially the David. It was, and we've been seeing David. Like she's definitely, that's from her talking about David Beckham or something.
Yeah. Oh.
On Stars in Their Eyes.
So they're really in what I've described here as off-duty looks.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've never seen them look more off-duty than this. So they're with their vocal coach.
Who is that vocal coach?
Is that David?
Yes,
It's
Do you
David.
Do you recognize him?
Fame Academy?
Yeah, he's the
I knew I recognized
husband
him.
and wife team, David and Cary Grant. My favorite thing that she's called Cary Grant, and she's got that red kind of bob, flicked out bob.
They're like the nappy tabs of the UK.
The what?
Nappy tabs?
That sounds...
They are that husband and wife duo who work. Tabitha, what's her face? Blah, blah, blah. They're like the choreographing duo.
Oh, yes, I know who you mean. Yeah. Okay, fine. But yeah, they're a husband and wife vocal coach team to the stars.
Yeah.
And they were on a wonderful show in the early 2000s called Fame Academy, which was about nurturing singer-songwriters and making them famous. It was meant to be like a
More legit
antithesis to Pop Idol, wasn't it? It was like, yeah, they're going to actually write their own songs. David Snedden.
Scottish.
Stop Living the Lie, his song.
Yeah.
And what was the guy that the one that Charlie loved? You remember
Lamar?
No, the other Scottish guy. And he was like really edgy, and he like rolled around in a room and wore like a little top.
I don't remember him.
Oh, you do know who I? Yeah, it's gonna drive me crazy. I'll.
But wait, was Lamar from that show? Have I made that
Yes,
up?
no, Lamar was from that show. Alex Parks.
Alex Parks.
Yeah.
Lesbian?
Yes.
Wow, what a show. Fame Academy. What a shit name for a show. It's like
terrible.
Fame Elementary. The background music in this scene was also incredibly jarring because it went from synthy post early Gaga library music like do 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 into the instrumental of Issues, but it crashed into it.
And then Molly says, David's one of the best vocal coaches out there, and he got us to where we are vocally. I'm like, okay.
So they then sing it. David's feedback for them is, now, do it like you've sung together before.
Yeah, meow.
I know.
David.
Yeah.
I did like that it started with, you can only describe it as Vanessa belting out her bit where she's like, there's a part of me I won't let you go. I keep saying yes and again. And I can't fault her vocals. Vanessa's always good.
Yeah.
I also noted here that Molly, as they're standing around doing their harmonies, she's wearing a lovely white romper and she's got her hands in her little pockets of her romper. She's just doing this, like that kind of slow, like backwards and forwards like, to the beat of Issues. I was like, Molly, she's just got a lovely style.
Do you remember?
Crisp.
Do you remember her solo single?
Yes.
I just keep coming back to you.
Oh, yes, I like that.
Yeah, actually, let me just find it right now.
Play it. I want to hear it.
Why do I keep coming back to you? Why do I keep coming back to you? Why do I keep coming back to you? Why do I keep coming back to you?
her songs sounds a little bit like Robert Miles' Children.
Like a slowed down version.
Maybe.
So this scene in general, I've just written, this is a made-up scene to show they can sing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the iPod dock in the background.
Well, I know where we need to head to next, and we need to have a great scene where we go to a shop with the most ludicrous name I've ever read in my entire life.
Alley.
No.
What?
No. It's so much worse than what you just said.
Alley.
A baby.
I don't think it is.
A baby.
I don't think it is because I googled the shop.
And you found it?
Yeah, it's a children's clothing store in Southgate.
And it's La La Lee?
Alley.
I literally thought it said a baby.
A baby.
Doesn't it look like a bee? What a funny name for a shop. A baby.
A baby. Well, all I know, like, what's that baby? Mom to baby. No, wait a minute. What am I thinking of? That shop. What's that shop?
You're thinking of Jomo Maman Bébé.
Oh, thank you. Merci bien. So this shop is in Southgate, closed in 2014.
Ah, damn.
Nah, that's
Well,
it.
they seem to be just selling christening dresses for kids, which is very odd. This was an odd scene because I don't know. There's something I'm a little confused about christenings in general because I didn't have one and have never been to one. I don't think.
Oh, so you're gonna burn in hell?
Yeah, and you know my brother has been christened, so
I
we
know this
literally
storyline.
have a. Yeah, you know the story. My brother went to private school. I went to public school. Yep. He's gonna go to heaven. I'm going to go to hell.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean entry to private school doesn't involve. Are they christened?
No, I'm just telling you the inadequacies of me and my brother and our lives. They're two separate things. Private school christened, state school hell.
State school hell.
What is going on here?
So at this point, Una says a line that's like, the christening is going to be a special day, so I think it's special if baby girl Fabelle's wearing something special for a special day. It's like, what?
This has really been cobbled together last minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And good on Vanessa for yet again doing the Lord's work here, literally, of accompanying Una to do something really boring.
So boring.
She drove to LAX with Una back in when they're in LA, and now she's gone with her to look at christening gowns.
I know. Yeah, bonnet. Yeah, white dress. Oh, with bonnet. And she's gonna wear the and the bonnet. Yeah,
they
a lot
put
of
her-
that chat.
They put baby girl Bell in a fur coat, which I enjoyed.
It said that she looked like J-Lo.
Yeah. And I basically just wrote, Una just keeps saying bonnet. She said bonnet 1,000 times. This scene was awful.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what can really lift us up with a dynamic energy and a dynamic twosome. And what's that? Who's that?
It's Frankie and her sister Tor doing lunch.
What could Tor possibly be short for? I think I need Frankie to explain it to me. What is it?
Tor, short for Victoria.
Oh, thanks, Frankie. Thought it was short for Tory Amos. I don't know.
I wrote here that Frankie's sister sounds exactly like her. Yeah. So the two of them talking to each other is just the same pitch and tone and everything.
Has it been hot over there? Yeah, it's been really
hot.
hot. Oh, great. Well, I can lay out and work on my tan.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I'll be working. Oh, you'll be so brown. Yeah. So Tora's gonna come to LA, and
Can't wait.
But she doesn't say that though. She whispers. She's talking, and then she goes, "Oh my god, I'm so excited!" She's just like an excited whisper. We need to talk about some language.
Oh, God.
Homely and homey.
Yes.
So apparently when Frankie went over to the States, she asked that her apartment be homely.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what that... Americans apparently thought that meant old?
Yeah, homely is an insult here. Like, you say, oh, someone looks very homely. It means it's like an insult, especially like quite feminine, like derived of like a woman looking old.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Apparently Americans say homey. I would just say cozy.
Yeah. And then there's an incredibly problematic thing where they both go, ha, homie, and do a hand gesture. I was like,
Uh-oh.
Frank's Tor, Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Tory.
Come on, friend. Come on, friend.
Come on, baby. Jojo, maman, baby.
Right.
And then Frankie says this great line. So, you know Joe Alvin, the editor of Glamour? It's always like, I do know Joe Alvin, the editor of Glamour.
Is she as scary in person as she is on TV?
Yeah. So she explains the situation, and Tor's basically encouraging her to kind of go ahead with it. I got a little bored and I just said, Frankie's hair and makeup looks great in this scene.
Oh, yeah,
She's incredibly disrespectful when she's talking about mental health.
I thought her hair looked very rich.
Yeah, very nice. And, you know, I did write Tor's hair and makeup has seen better days. It's just hard when you're competing with how shiny and kind of glossy and wonderful Frankie looked, you know?
Yeah. Let's nip to the Mind offices, the offices of the mental health charity. I googled them. I think we're in Camden.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
It's the Camden energy.
Camden. I mean, that office has been there for what, 30 years?
Yeah. Just having an anxiety-based charity in Camden is not great because as you know, someone with extreme anxiety, Camden is one of the places I never want to go in London because it causes me extreme anxiety.
Someone tried to start a fight with me in Pret once in Camden.
I'm absolutely not surprised. Everyone is completely on the edge there
Why is that?
because it's too busy, it's too small, it's
too narrow,
it's too
isn't it?
narrow, and the tube station is filled with people who can't use it properly, and everyone is angry. Mostly, I noted that I think that this girl Felicity, they are sitting in front of the coat rack. Did you see that? There was just all coats hanging up behind her.
Yeah.
It's like the Mind coat rack area.
And they're sitting on those chairs which are very... they've got those loose covers on them. It's really hard to describe, but they're just very like 2001 or something.
Yes. But this is a nice scene that basically she's talking to this girl Felicity, who is someone who works with who basically has reached out to the Mind charity for help and is now like someone who talks about how the charity helped her. So it wasn't just someone from the charity like talking to Frankie. It was like someone who's actually experienced the help. And they clearly like teamed her up because she was young and female and kind of, as she pointed out, it's nice for her to see someone like herself, you know, who's going through it. So this is a nice scene.
And at one point, Frankie's discussing her depression, and she says, "You just feel like you're drowning and no one notices."
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's really tough.
Yeah.
I'm really glad. I keep saying this, but just to give it a bit of seriousness, they are dealing with this very thoughtfully, especially for the time.
I agree.
It's kind of shocking, actually.
Let's zoom through a different set of crosshatch windows. This is a triple crosshatch window. Don't know if you saw that.
I didn't, but we did zoom past a number 73 bus.
Oh, did we?
We did.
Where does that go?
Oh God, I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I don't think I ever used to get the 73. I can't really remember what my buses were anymore. It's kind of all gone. So this is the Heart Takes Over song. My Heart Takes Over instrumental is what kind of crashes us into Una and Ben's kitchen.
Una is helping Ben limp through the kitchen, I've written, and she says, "I'll make the tea, you rest your foot."
And he calls her mum. Disgusting.
Thanks, Mum. I've written here they've upgraded their cups.
Yeah.
They now seem to have Emma Bridgewater cups, you know, the ones that've got like the writing on them.
That say coffee at the top
Yeah,
of them.
chunky.
A chunky coffee mug that says coffee. Yeah. 'Cause what was she had the Easter egg one last
She
time?
had the Smarties.
The
She had the
Smarties
Smarties
mug.
cup.
This is when I got really annoyed in my notes and I said, how are we still in the same fucking scene that we were from the To Be Continued?
Yeah.
But they're doing it to us almost at the end of the next episode.
But it's the same scene, but a different scene.
Yes, completely. Same script, different cast. No,
Yeah.
same script, same cast.
Same crosshatch windows.
And that very specific British big plastic thing of milk on the side. Did you see? That kind of skinny but very tall and very heavy plastic thing
yeah.
of semi-skimmed milk. Where the spout on the top is actually quite hard to pour out. You have to do it sideways sometimes, not long ways. Do you know what I mean? Because it is so heavy that it.
Oh, is it like a
sometimes
really
sloshes
big
out.
one?
Yeah, she had like
yeah.
6 pints.
Yes.
6 pints of milk in
So
one
hard.
jug.
That's a two-hand job.
It's a
100% a two-hand job.
And you can only be buying that kind of thing if you're having cereal, because otherwise that's going to go off. You need more than one person in one house having cereal.
Or you've got a baby.
Or you've got a baby. Yeah, that's a family-sized milk. No one living alone is having a 6-pinter of semi-skimmed.
So she says, what are we going to do with you when I'm away?
Yeah.
And then she says, maybe I should tell them I can't go back.
Oh, God.
We then have a break. And then Ben...
So they did a To Be Continued of the To Be Continued. Of the To Be Continued.
And then Ben says, you're not going to, you can't. It's too important. Get out there and do your thing. I'll be fine.
Supportive.
He is. But he is also a bit like, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Again, I will note Ben is hot. Damn it, I wrote in my notes, and then I finished off saying, they don't really have a lot of chemistry, do they?
I did note in another scene his hands are really sexy.
Yeah.
So she's suggesting that he does his rehab in LA, and then they talk about having a sponge bath.
Now, when you've got a foot injury,
What?
is a kind of 9-hour flight recommended?
I guess it depends if it's in a cast or not.
And I guess it depends on if you're in like first and you can put your leg up.
I think he's in a boot because in that christening scene, which we're about to go to, he fucking just walks in. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, Pat, let's get to it. The christening. I will say Addie Lee's best fleet of cars have been summoned. And I've written here, Ben is walking. He just walks in.
Also, this appears to be an evening christening.
I wrote, it's a nighttime christening?
They don't exist, right? I've not really been to many, but do you have many Catholic friends?
Well,
Have you been to christenings?
they don't happen at night.
I feel like they're always a daytime affair, and
The baby's going to be asleep.
And aren't a lot of them, like, people have multiple children that get christened at the same time, rather than one dedicated event, depending on how kind of bougie you
Yeah,
are.
my friend's family did have a triple christening.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we get introduced to the person I've dubbed as the most Irish man on the planet.
Oh my God, Father John.
Right there, Father John.
Is he real? I wrote.
He did an amazing, I will say, I said this is actually a note to Alan, the physio from last episode. This is how you do a cameo in a TV show. He's literally doing like a stand-up set. He's standing there and he's like, oh, look, there's little baby girl Aoife Bell. She's surrounded by the Saturdays and, oh, summer JLS. It's like, Father John, you go for it.
But he doesn't say the Saturdays, he says the Sats.
Yeah. Father John really got the memo. So Una announces that, well, he's the priest that married them as well, isn't he?
Yes. So...
Shots of creme brulees. Did you see them?
Oh, did I not send you that picture? No. Oh, I took a picture of them. I've written it looks like a very cold venue. And I also got confused. So they're having the christening and the food and the party all in the one room?
Yes, it looked that way.
Yeah.
And it looked like there was, a collapsible font to do the christening in. It didn't feel like a permanent church structure, the font that they dipped the baby in.
Oh, was it?
I don't really know, but I felt like we weren't in a church, and I felt like the font was definitely...
That font wasn't plumbed.
It definitely wasn't plumbed. It was definitely portable. But Father Johnny flies with his own font.
Brings it.
And then did you see the cake?
Yes, and there's like a strange...
Little fondant baby on it. Felt like I could feel Anne's sticky fingers all over that one.
So although I didn't see Anne anywhere. No. There's a shot of, it must be Ben's mum holding the baby, but no Anne anywhere. But yeah, there's glasses of champagne. Champagne I have noted very much in catering champagne flutes. You know, the chunky ones?
Yes.
That can definitely go in the wash.
Yeah, they can be jostled around in in a box, can't
Exactly. Click, 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 click. That's not going to smash. There's really bad lighting. Everything just looks very flat.
Yeah, flat and kind of yellowish.
Which is weird because it looks like a lovely space they're in.
Yeah, it's definitely, you just said it right. It's definitely a space.
I've written here that all the Sats look so happy and pleased for Una.
Yeah, just nice gals, aren't they? Marv and Roche, we have a little scenelet with them where he kind of says, oh, it's nice to see it. I just wish it was us. And they both just go, yeah.
It will be.
Again,
Don't you worry.
Reach through that screen and be like, you're going to have 3 gorgeous children. Everything's going to be fine.
Meanwhile, Frankie and Molly, they grab a chunky champagne flute of OJ. And Molly says, so how were things at Mind? How was Mind? That is the mental health charity.
And then she said, Frankie's come a long way and I'm really proud of her. Good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I then wrote all caps, is it a buffet inside a church? It's definitely a buffet.
Yeah. Finger food.
Because there's a moment where they goes, oh, I think it's all gone.
Yeah, and that's like, do you help yourself to a creme brulee? That feels like a dish that should be put down in front of you, not...
I think
so. Just grab your own creme brulee.
Well, no, but they did come in those little dishes.
I don't know, it's to me as something like creme brulee, it just doesn't feel like it should just be put out.
No, I think it's a cold venue. It's not going to go off.
Chilly enough.
So, that was the christening. That was it. Do you know what? Ben is going to go to LA with Una, baby girl Aoife Bell, and the gals.
So it says, Daddy's coming to LA. And I said, this was the damn cliffhanger. And then Vanessa just announces she feels refreshed and ready to go back to LA. Great.
They then do a cheers, but Vanessa, she doesn't have anything to cheers with. She said, oh, I've actually already finished my drink. And then they're like, cheers.
One drink. Felt like the venue was, because I'm not going to overanalyze this too much, but in Ben's speech, I heard him say, thanks for coming all the way over here. I was like, over where? And I didn't think he meant from Ireland. I think he meant to like whatever part of London they lived in. Twickenham, deep Twickenham. And that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I would go if the Addie Lee turned up.
It depends. If you live in Southwest London, Twickenham's just a hop and a skip. But if you're in North London, like Molly clearly is, that's a long journey.
But Molly's a supportive friend.
She's gonna have to use the M25, use the orbital.
Maybe. Maybe she drove and that's why she's having the glass of orange juice.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. She tried to drive herself back around the M25.
Yeah.
Back around the orbital. And my final note was, that was shit.
We get a coming up next time. I've written Anne's back.
Yeah.
So Anne goes to LA.
Yeah.
There's a storyline about Una and Ben needing some alone time so the others babysit baby girl Aoife Bell.
Looks shit.
Halloween. Halloween outfits. And there's just a shot of a tease of Vanessa's tootsies in some heels, and you hear her say, "I'm the freakiest little bitch you've ever seen."
Oh, thank God for Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vanessa, we need you.
Come on, be freakier.
We need an injection of Vanessa in this next episode.
Because we've also got Frankie and Tor getting matching tattoos.
Where do we think they're going to go? Because they've already done
Somewhere on Sunset.
They've already been to that place on Melrose. Remember in the last? Is it Melrose they went to?
Oh, to get the piercings. Wow, they've really upped the ante for this season.
They better not go to Venice. I'll be furious if they get those tattoos in Venice.
So, that was the episode. I actually didn't come up with a hashtag for this one, but maybe I'll do one off the top of my head. Creme brulee?
I think that out of everything we discussed in this episode, that's the most important thing.
That creme brulee, I'm at a slightly shit wedding, and I have a bite, and I'm like, I don't really want this.
Finish it anyway.
Yeah.
you gotta keep your strength up.
Right. How are we going to rate this episode?
Just to recap, we've rated, what we do is we rate things out of 5. Instead of 5 stars, it's 5 somethings, and they are the men that are named in the song Gentleman, in the Gentleman rap. So far, we've done Larry King's, Cullen Lutz's, Denzel Washington's, Robert Pattinson's, Obama's, and Lamar Odom's. Today, we're going to be doing, out of 5, how many ludicrouses out of 5 is this episode?
Whoa. I'm going to say 4.
Despite the fact that my final note of this episode was this was shit, I'm going to give this one 4 ludicrouses also. I felt like we got I think Una playing the guitar to Baby Girl Aoife Bell is enough to... It was almost 5-star if I hadn't had to endure going to the christening shop, going to the christening, and everything else that happened.
I forgot. I'm going to up it to 4.5 because not only did we get Una singing Ego to Baby Girl Aoife Bell, we got many shots of that crossed-hatched window.
Okay, do you know what? You've twisted my arm. 4.5 ludicrouses for this one.
So this is our highest rating episode of the season. Episode 7.
Wow, we're just going up and up.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to hit that
up?
Think we're going to hit that elusive 5 by episode 10?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm already very nervous about the season finale of this one.
Yeah.
Considering what we did last time.
What? Fajitas at Frankie's?
Fajitas at Frankie's
Conservatory. But that was a 5-star episode.
That really was.
Those Sainsbury's bags.
I can't.
The apple crumble. Please go back and listen to our recap of the Saturdays 24/7.
Yeah, even if you listen to just the final episode where they have that Mexican meal in Frankie's Conservatory, Ben and I talked for like 10 hours about it, every detail.
I when we update the next You're Welcome America theme tune, I do want to put in Molly saying Tex-Mex.
Absolutely.
So thank you for listening. You get an episode of this every week on our regular You're Welcome America every other week. Please rate and review us. Thank you for listening. And you're welcome.
Bye.
You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
Igo by Toyota sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
Marlene.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.